God, Jesus. I'm with Uli.
Hey.
Uli's the one who's been lucky enough to be driving this Model S PLAID for a couple of days. So Uli, quickly summarise what you think of it. You said they've refined it, yeah?
Yeah, it's crazy. So you take one day to see what they did, and it's an obsession in going into the details. It's crazy from the driving experience to the sound.
Yeah.
To that the door inserts are that smaller, you have more space, and they go more horizontal, you have more space in the front. They moved the whole seat to the front, so that the guys have more space in the back while they lowered the dashboard, so you look more over the car. It's more like a Model S.
I think this is what when we were talking yesterday, that it's not just like a quicker version of Model S, it's like a 90% new car.
It's a new car with all the...
But it just looks the same, ish. Yeah.
Also here, if you look at the mouth, they took the whole thing down here, they pulled this forward, they moved the whole thing forward. This is a new hood.
Yeah, different shape.
So
comes around a bit,
New mirrors, you see here. They bent this, put it down.
Subtle changes. I mean, they could have done a bit more.
For aero.
This is wider, is it not? Yeah. And the whole, you think the wings, the haunches, it sits wider.
And I think in here you have this ginormous cooling now.
Okay.
Flattened out so that the air goes through. So they made an airstream coming out here.
Yeah.
Everything is optimized, I guess, for racing and for having a sporty feel.
And keeping the cooling of the battery for performance, repeated performance is the key with this one, isn't it?
We are now at 20% stage of charge.
Yeah.
And we can nail them to, I don't know, 3 seconds.
And so the performance of it, how do you describe it?
It's
other than probably lethal.
It's violent.
Violent is probably the way.
And I don't mean it positive. It's violent.
Yeah.
Like so for the guys who aim for that.
Yeah.
It's like the restaurant testers who aim for a settled taste.
And you're driving the P90D, so you know
Ludicrous,
when you first drive one of them, you go, oh, this is amazing. But this is like next level stuff.
I would say, subjectively speaking, triple as hard as a performance at the moment.
Really?
Yes.
It feels that different.
You can guess that the long range is probably also on par with the performance, if not more brutal.
Wow.
And the brutality sets in past 40 miles.
Really? Yeah.
It's there in the beginning,
so
but it keeps on.
It's clearly kind of like controlled, and then at 40 miles an hour.
They pull more out the faster it goes.
What I find amazing is that the higher speeds, 100, 120, 130, 140,
still
when you see the videos, it's still hauling. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a linear curve.
Yeah.
They pull out constantly, I don't know, 2,500, 3,000 amps.
Yeah.
And in the Ludicrous at the moment, we have 1,500 to 1,700. So there's some magic trick involved. Either they sacrifice the battery in the long run, or they have some magic sauce. We don't know what it is.
What I'm interested here, like in terms of everyday drivability, the ride comfort, how does that differ? I mean, this is on. I'm not a personal fan of these wheels. The 90. See, this needs. All right, we want to see this chap. If you like the Razor alloy wheels, they would look awesome on this.
Our new Aeros,
they would look.
We're lucky enough that they made this here.
Yeah.
This, you see these kind of Predators things.
Yeah.
And our wheel, as you know, has this kind of opening. We call it a Japanese scissor. Scissor design.
Gotcha.
You see that scissor kind of sushi knife everywhere in the car? Very Japanese in a way, but in a positive way.
And your wheels would go great. So what I'll do is I'm going to put a link in the description below for the wheels that we think should be on this car. You let me know in the comments if you totally agree with that, because these ones here, I mean, I think they're very practical for probably LA.
Yeah, they're also efficient. So
have you pulled the covers off yet?
So should we try?
Let's try it. There we go.
Yeah, you have to like it, right?
And I presume you get a hubcap kit, but
some guys make it black in America. That
looks like okay for winter tire.
It's an organic form that makes no sense here.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the thing.
Yeah, let's put that back on.
But hey, look at the caliper.
Oh, okay. What have we got? Are they bigger?
Yeah, a bit bigger, I guess. And now with the new and they made a lot of refinements here and everything. So it looks cool.
Well, we haven't been driving too hard this morning.
Yeah. But here, look, that's a problem with a cap.
Yep.
And this thing in the long run works against the clamps.
Yep.
So you have really material taken off. So that's not a good solution.
No, it wouldn't be.
Let's see how I can.
This way round. Hang on. Back round this way. On about there, I think, for the valve.
Not my taste. Not my taste to fix it.
Okay, and so what I want to know now is obviously the topic of so much debate.
Yes.
This Yoke steering wheel.
Yeah, should I sit in?
I want you, yeah, if you sit in there and I want you to spin this lock to lock.
Yeah.
But the question is, you know, have you got used to it?
Yes, I did.
And so would you order one with yoke or without yoke?
I would order one.
It'd have yoke?
Yeah, I was really having a hard time the first day.
Yeah.
But it's pretty natural, and after some time, the thing is, you see this little bend here.
Yeah.
This little bend fits into your palm. So you can do the classical way.
Oh, really? So you can still do
side.
that. Go on then, you show me.
Yeah, well, I have to put the car on first, and our battery is low. Another thing, they changed the battery in here.
Yeah.
And not the old one. And the service center doesn't have the new one. You'll see.
Okay. And can you not use this with Bluetooth entry like a Model 3?
I could, but since we rented it.
Yeah, but you can get it, an owner would have that probably, yeah. Okay.
So you see, that works pretty good. Alright, so that works nicely.
And the full lock is not quite one rotation, is that how it...
Exactly.
Okay.
This car is distinctive either for, in my opinion, they did this on purpose, for relaxed driving. So you can do this and it works nicely.
Ah, gotcha. So you're just chilling as you crawling through Beverly Hills. Oh, yeah.
This is the aim, and I tell you why afterwards. Second relaxed thing, right? It works very well when driving.
Yeah.
Especially with a kind of power steering they did. It's a bit different.
Yeah.
Or stable. The corner here.
That's a good point.
It's stable.
Yeah, it's a good point. So you can see some thought behind it.
Yeah. And when you do this is the extreme concentration focus tunnel vision thing. So
because you need it.
Yeah, and they went for two extremes.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Yeah.
And all these little things you experience after driving for a day. Now,
I think that's the key, because I think a lot of people can drive one for half an hour, but this is why I was really keen to sort of talk to you, because you've been driving for a couple of days in the streets of LA, which is in some ways challenging because of the traffic and how busy, and there's some really bumpy roads as well. It copes with that well?
Yeah.
The ride's good?
Yeah. The ride is perfect. I think they redid everything from the shocks to the dampers, everything.
So it's a different beast to a Raven performance long range.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything is different.
Yeah.
And I think in combination with a let me make the sound a bit lower. In combination with the noise cancelling we experienced, that's really working.
Yeah.
Because we had some hip hop music yesterday with a lot of bass.
Okay.
And when the hip hop was running, we experienced that the bumps on the roads come through more. When you put it on mute, all of a sudden this thing gets lowered, and so you have some sort of it's so they actively, in my opinion, working already on that.
Yeah.
And
can I come around that side?
Yeah, sure.
Because there's two things. One is there's some music in the background up here, and I don't want that to be picked up and copyrighted, and then we won't allow our video.
Now, here's a German menu. Anyway, so they no longer have the menu button steering or driving.
Yep.
They have now pedals and steering. So a lot of that stuff, which used to be on the driving, is now hidden here.
Trap strict mode. I can translate this.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the cushioning. The damping, sorry, and that works really well. It works really well.
Can I flick it to English for the moment, if that's okay?
Yeah.
And then I'll just have a quick look through the menu system there. There you go.
So, new start, black screen.
Ah, so it has to do a reboot for this.
It's a new MCU. No, I'm kidding.
And so this is your kind of backup to your drive selection.
Yeah.
So, but it auto selects, does it?
Yeah.
And you find that works?
No.
No? Okay.
It's a decisive mode. It has to make a clear decision.
So this is useful to have here?
Yeah,
you're not going to get rid of that yet?
Works.
What have you got on the steering wheel here then? So what's right?
So there's speech recognition, wipers. I don't know, this is probably empty at the moment, I'm not sure. This is
looks like that's for cruise control.
In my opinion, a doubtable decision. If you want to honk, because it's an effect, right? And you're worried, then you do this.
Yeah.
So now they did this, that the sensors are combined and they can do this either.
Okay.
And it honks, or you have to press it. Problem is now, what you see here is underlined with a smaller sensor. So there's a much smaller circle in here. And what you do when you're hectic, you try to press somewhere in that area and it's not working. Same for the blinkers.
Okay.
The blinkers, I think, if they would have done something with stairs or something with tactile different surfaces, then you hit it. But when you drive and you want to blink, you want to do this, and here is no sensor.
Yes,
so you have to watch all the time, and watch is something that's already been solved 20 years ago, 30 years ago with the stalks. So,
I mean, I don't think the stalks would really detract too much from the use, because they'll be here, they're out of the way, so yeah, I get what they're trying to do.
The guy in the US, you saw him?
Yeah,
there's one nerd
you can install one.
He did that, and it works, and it looks good, and it doesn't distract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So the visual display there is changed slightly.
Here's
so
another
that's
thing that's, in my opinion, a bit questionable. The color range and how this displays is different from this display to this one. This is more dark.
yes.
Colors are less juicy, and it looks a bit sad in combination with this. And this is poppy and fresh. In driving, you constantly want to adjust this to a bit brighter.
Yeah.
So maybe that's coming with software update.
Okay. I think because I was speaking to your colleague yesterday about how you can't change the kind of brightness individually between the two displays. You have to have all of it, or which I can see here now why that would be an issue. So this is all changed down here.
Yeah, and I think we didn't. My partner tried that. You can lift those now, like on an iPhone. So you can sort that different.
Yeah.
What I think is a bit, in my opinion, also questionable. The seats used to be there constantly for seat heating.
Correct.
So now you have to go into a sub menu. Like same thing, like if you want to unlock the car, we had a lock here or here.
Correct.
Now you have to go to the thing and then you have to unlock it. It's always, so you need 2 steps when you had 1 step. So that's an unnecessary.
And it wasn't an issue having it here.
Yeah.
And you can't pull down like a shortcut to here. Maybe is that worth trying?
Maybe this menu. No. But you can. Yeah. We're going plaid. I'm gladly worried.
What are you looking
Can
for?
you try to move windows around?
Can you say, you know, probably not wipers, but
this one,
can you bring a shortcut down?
Like this one, and then you can go like this.
That's cool.
And the shortcut is like if you go here, then you just grab it and you put it over there. And here you get the here you get the recent apps. It's just the apps you used recently, obviously.
That's cool.
And you can also put this one around. So if you like,
that's always X style.
yeah. So it's pretty like if you know Apple products, it's pretty much the same, I think.
I'm going to put a link to your video in the description below as well.
It's just uploading in this second. So I'm
dropping the bomb today.
So there is going to be an epic video about this car. These guys got the jump, they got the car first, they got the video. So I'm going to put a link in the video. And what's your channel?
It's Jonas, so it's just a German word. It's
Yep, and there's going to be a link in the description below to that video because they've been kind enough to let me have a little poke around here and describe some of the functions to me. So we'll put that in. That's going to be brilliant. That's going to be brilliant. But there's no way here then, and what we're talking really just now was about having things like the heated seats. You can't bring a tile down for a heated seat shortcut, for example. It'd be nice to allow, you know, 4 shortcuts.
I know.
Yeah.
I think there's
All the elementary things.
There's not a big problem, so you get the kind of heating control and the cooling control over here, and you get automation. But there's no control over here as you were used to in the Model 3. So you don't have it in the front seat. It's just in the
It may as well be there, so I don't know why it's not.
So why not? You could have like 2 buttons for heating and for cooling, but it's just over here, so you always have to turn it around. So
but hey, we are the quality control of Tesla.
So in the menu system here, I mean, there's familiarity to it, isn't there? But it has changed completely.
They wanted to make it. You can see the works of a user interface designer. They wanted to make this simpler, less cluttered, black and white. And from a graphical perspective, looking at it, it looks simpler, but not from a user perspective. So that's like magazine design or whatever. Screen design, but it's not necessarily user friendly.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. So this is kind of familiar to the Raven cars, so that looks quite similar. Charge port, lock charge port, all fairly familiar stuff there. How was the autopilot?
Was good, very good.
Was it working?
Yes.
See, I was finding the autopilot, navigating autopilot in the Model Y I've been driving. It always wanted to change left lanes on the freeway, and I was like, there was no reason to go into the left-hand lane. So I was finding some bits like that, but at times it does work very well.
I think it's good that you went out of the EU, because we have these problems that after some seconds, I think 10 seconds, we have it's beginning the alarm.
It's like in 10 seconds you get the...
Oh yeah, no, oh really? Yeah, but we get 10 seconds without holding the steering wheel. It'll come on. You know, with AP1, you could in 2016 when I was driving one of those, you could let go of the steering wheel for ages. Sorry, not let go. That's dangerous. You could relax your hands on the steering wheel for a long time. But I think the problem was people just filming themselves in the back seats and bringing the control back down. So this kind of thing's familiar. The menu system is familiar. There's not too much different here.
Trip meter is a bit. Here you see what we just talked about. It
doesn't look as nice as it did before.
Yeah, it's an
because it's in a grid. It's actually not so good on the eyes to look at roads. I mean, this will change. Live view camera via mobile app. Everyone's waiting for that in the UK. Everyone's getting excited on that one.
Here, same thing. You have a shear service. It's a lot of stuff buried under there. Not at first sight, right? It's a really, I mean, it's good.
So you've got a headlight adjustment like Model 3 and Y.
Yeah.
Camera calibration, reset that. Yeah, so that's familiar. And then using this, I had a comment from somebody yesterday. They didn't like the fact that this is square, this is round.
Well, this is, we're all trained Apple, right? We're Apple, I don't know, robots. But we were at the Rivian yesterday, right?
Yeah.
The Rivian nailed this Apple-ish thing. So they made this software, had a frame of material.
Yeah.
So that was all a tight bit more high-end, but Rivian went more playful, like lucid.
Yeah.
And when you drive this after one day, this is getting bare to the bone, but not in a negative way. I think these cars will age well.
I'm going to put this camera right in front of your face. And so this is a driver's eye view.
Exactly.
It's not a bad view, is it?
No.
But you think this this dashboard all feels lower down?
Yes.
Oh, I like this. See the textures in there? That's a bit better.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a bit more premium now.
The hand, how you call it, the handle?
Yeah.
It's a bit conservative. I think this is too stiff for a Tesla. That should be something thinner, a bit more expressive.
Well, we've got double laminate glass.
Yes. Now here comes another thing.
Double laminated
The
glass.
lamination, this is super important. The lamination creates a distortion by the two pieces being laminated. And when you have the window half open,
No soft close.
yeah, then it's getting a bit
It does
dizzy.
distort it, doesn't it?
And that's a bit, I don't know if the other guys have it under control.
That's the user experience that's really vital to learn here. So thanks for your time with this.
Yeah.
Obviously, nice big glass roof. I mean, it's all sort of Alcantara headline trim. The camera here is not exactly discreet. It's hidden. It's very visible there.
I think we are closer to
What's missing from here?
We are closer here. I think they moved the whole thing forward.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
We are higher in the car. Look at your feet.
We're saying that this feels closer to us than it was before.
And the feet are higher. So that means the new battery pack probably, I think, by this.
Yeah.
Well,
I think, I mean, this seat is low on the floor, but if I put my feet like this,
my pedals here,
then my knees are distinctly up. So you would have to have your feet, up on the front there. And I have to say, I wouldn't particularly want the seat any higher here.
Yeah. So it's feeling like on higher before.
If the seat's any higher, then I'm just looking at this. I do have to be right on the floor, and I'm 6 foot.
Yeah.
That's right down.
Yeah.
I don't have to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you're how you call it? You're reclining.
Yep.
Back seat.
Yeah, backrest.
That looks much more different.
Okay.
So I think this is why they also angulated the headrest different. You see, the angulation is now much more aggressive. It comes.
I think it comes in on the shoulders more.
Yeah, a bit more Recaro, back to Recaro days.
They look it as well. I mean, you can see it's obviously just changed the shape. This is lovely materials here. This feels like leather.
Yeah.
It's not leather.
Yeah, no.
But it feels much more convincingly like leather. But it's on the shoulders better, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. And this is just storage under here. Sorry if I just have a look under there.
Unclutter that for you.
No, that's okay. I can see that. That's good. It is finished in a slightly more kind of premium way. This one with the dark wood and these kind of metal bits here. It does have a more premium feel about this car, I think.
Look at this. This is the effort they did. So first of all, that's all metal. So where touch points are really good this time.
Yeah.
You pull this back, and you can pull that back.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
And
We've got a proper console.
yeah, and you can do this in two modes. One, twice. Isn't that cool?
This is nice.
And the real wood.
This is nice. It is much more premium now.
Yeah, and they rotated the metal here.
Yeah.
All these little things that add up.
It is. It adds up, and it's kind of what was missing before, wasn't it? You know, sort of nothing wrong, but when you try a lot of other cars and premium cars, there was an element that was missing.
Yeah.
But I think I'd be quite happy with this now.
I think so too.
You know, we've been lucky enough to be driving things like the Mercedes EQS, and it has a premium feel. It's much more simple than that, but it feels nice. And then with materials like this, that's bringing in a kind of Polestar Volvo kind of theme where you get different textures. It's very good. Okay, what I want to do is check the room behind me. So this is me sitting comfortably in the front. Let's pop that door open. So the back seat's here. This is very different. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, I'm in the back now. So again, we've got some material here. This is different. This is carpeted up here now, which is interesting. No sound insulation.
The side is slimmer. Our door is like this,
Yep.
so you gain space.
And somebody was telling me yesterday, when you take the trims off these doors,
They're super lightweight. You can put
well, he said there's fiberglass. There's fiberglass wadding. He said he did that, and then he had fiberglass in his hands. He didn't realise, but there's a whole load of fiberglass lining behind all the trims.
The 200 pounds less with a bigger car and a bigger battery. I mean, that's crazy good, no?
Yeah. Okay, so sort of familiar with the S in the back here in terms of floor seat base. I mean, it's okay. My knees are up a little bit. I'm quite folded, and I've just had an American breakfast, so you know this is like this. But it's not too bad. I can't stretch out too much. If I was on my own in the car, I'd probably go like this. But yeah, it's okay.
The back runs a bit up. Now still a bit flat. So that would be normal.
Yeah, I think for me it's just kind of being able to put your feet out, and it's just having your knees up. But that's a familiar theme with the Tesla rear seats in the Model S. But it's okay. These back seats, I mean, this has all changed. Much more bolstered here. All feels really nice. And then, of course, we've got the controls here. So we've got temperature control. We've got airflow control, heated seat control, music, Netflix, YouTube, and you can do gaming, of course, on this as well. Let's see how quick this is. I'm going to do this. There we go. How quickly will it play this? There we go. Watching YouTube at the back. I mean, it's pretty cool, isn't it? The kids are going to love this. Although, 2 kids, what do you watch? There's still going to be an iPad or an iPhone somewhere, isn't there? But it seems to work really well.
Right now.
Swipe down. Okay. Temperature. Yeah, I mean, that's useful, isn't it? Where does it go under here? So it sort of sculpts right under here, actually. Up in the back's familiar. Okay, let's have a look at the trunk.
What's also interesting is we talked about the ride quality between relaxed and super hardcore.
Yeah.
The pedal curve is adapted to that. So the first 70% of the pedal curve is super relaxed.
Right.
It's chill mode, and then it comes. So it's almost like they deliberately kept this out of the normal range of your foot.
Yeah.
Just when you need it.
Okay.
So that sums up to this relaxed driving.
Here we go. Here's a plug. Let's get some of these wheels. Yep, I think that would look pretty good. Boot space. Looks maybe similar. It's a little bit dark here. Sorry. It just kind of raises a little bit here. Oh, I thought there was something in the carpet. It's just a button off the guy's coat. Comes on here. So we've got a button here that releases the seat. So we've got this kind of ramp upwards there, which is slightly different. There's a overhead locker size bag. So this has changed a little bit here, the shape of this. I don't know if you can see that. We've got their camera gear in here. We've got a shelf here, a little net, and then a deep pocket on this side. Oh, there's buttons here for the seat as well. That's handy, isn't it?
What is really cool is this one.
Doesn't drop completely, but...
I don't know if your camera is bringing light in here.
Okay.
So here, let me take this out. You see that?
Yep.
And this now works.
It actually works, is it? So you can hold yours?
Yeah, it's a cheap wheelie solution to this.
It kind of works. And it probably has some kind of parcel shelf. It's just not in this car, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think here it's magnetic now. So this is pretty good.
That would be a good idea,
The thing
yeah.
folds up like this now. And here are finally buttons to lower the seats.
But the seats don't lower. Well,
Okay.
I just pulled it, they won't. But yeah, it's just changed. It's changed slightly here, isn't it? You know that section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to do with the new seats, I guess.
Yeah, these seats are quite different. So there's a release button on the back here to bring this down. And are these phone charging pads here?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's nice. There's a lot of differences and changes. Whoops. It's good.
And that's automatic same on the front and the door sills. So that's all subtle, but expensive.
Oh, this bit's metal.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, what about the front? Any difference?
Bit smaller, again. Constantly shrinking trunk.
Nice neat recess for the towing knife. So yeah, under here is going to be cooling, isn't it?
Here's the big cooler. You can see that almost.
Have you had this off?
Yeah. So here comes the Tesla service guy.
I mean, this is different. What is this? Can't even work it out.
I think in here they have, I think that's here the air suspension. Here's the heat pump.
It's all changed quite different, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, well, I better put it on. Sorry. Rip apart your hire car.
Probably where
I think that's how it was before.
the rabbits came from there. The rabbits were a big problem. I don't know if you want to talk about this.
You got rattles?
Yeah, the rabbits were a big issue.
Okay, so maybe there's some build quality things still to be just tweaked off
Yeah,
there.
because it's a new car.
I mean, this is an early car as well.
Yeah,
So
like Elon said, do not buy the first cars. But
He did say
I think
himself.
in that regard, you have to buy them, otherwise you don't get them.
this is it. And how have we got? I mean,
That's
Panel.
That's okay. Here, yeah, but panel gaps per se are good. Everywhere around the car. Here's some blue residue. It's just one of these cars who stood a bit longer, probably. You know,
yeah,
heat and stuff.
that looks like it's yeah, looks like
you
it's
see
chafing.
The kind of dirt that's in here, it looks like it would be standing a longer time. Could be that one of these cars on there.
So why is this bigger then? Just to bring the camera out more, probably.
I think they had a black hole here somewhere.
Yeah,
Empty spot, so that's probably more.
easy to bring it
Maybe
round.
in the future there's a camera pointing this way. Maybe that's already, I don't know.
What have we got? Does this look? What's that sensor there? So we've got 3
Maybe
cameras
it's a
there.
dedicated rain sensor again.
I think it might be a rain sensor. So we can actually have working rain sensors. That would be handy.
The square one?
Have you had a chance to try the auto headlights dip beam?
Yeah, it works.
It does work?
Yeah, it works very good.
Because before I was always blinded here, you'd have to just do it manually. It never worked.
Very good.
So panel fit finish all good. And I'm going to have a little crawl under here. Let's have a look what we got. Yeah, one big flat battery pack.
Yeah, if you look at the door, I think the doors, the tail lights and the front lights and the trunk is the same. But then, you see this? That's Porsche. You see here? PPF film. Because it's so
Yeah.
feisty now.
Yeah,
You see the dirt on here? So,
this is still the same as it was.
yeah.
Never fits in. You get dirt behind it, it just keeps coming out. I wonder if the PPF is a standard thing,
I
probably.
think so, yeah. There was a riot going on in the American forums and then I think they switched.
I mean, we do PPF for a lot of people, putting PPF film on their Teslas. And can you see anything from motors at the back here? Right, this is me going right underneath now. No, you can't see anything.
Yeah, they reworked completely the whole diffuser. That's interesting. So they kept the air more in here and here so that it's streaming out differently. So they keep it like this
Yep.
instead of the separated ones. What's also different. Well, what's interesting, we have still
This is all carpet now.
a Daimler sign here from back in the days. So they took still the hinge.
Still using the Mercedes hinge.
Yeah.
Daimler lives on
Yes.
in a Tesla. So this is carpet now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that's all taking to damping. It's part of the damping.
Yeah, well, it helps, doesn't it? And you may as well. It just feels better. Doesn't cost too much. Makes the same. And then, pretty essential, plaid. Rear spoiler looks the same as the previous performance one, is it?
It seems flatter, like more Model 3, like it comes out further. The other one is a bit more recessed.
Yeah, it's quite flat there. So there we go.
Okay, ready?
I think so.
So my name is Brooks Weisbach.
Oh.
3, 2, 1.
God, Jesus!
This is 5
Oh, that was.
This is
Okay, I'm used to Model S performance. There's nothing can describe. I'm surprised the GoPro didn't come off.
It's a tank rolling in, and you get an instant tunnel vision.
You lose the blood in the back of your head. It's ridiculous.
Yes, and I have now, I don't know, not adequate state of charge.
But can you come? Yeah, exactly. This could be quicker. Imagine if you didn't even have a Model S performance before this. You just had a Audi S3 or something, you know, and it just is a different level of different thing altogether. Different thing altogether.
Overtaking.
50 is crazy. You can't hold your head forward if you wanted to. No. It does go back.
And it's the, what is it called? The lymph. It's squeezing your lymph against the chin.
Yeah.
And you feel like we're grinding your teeth. It's
to be that violent and that instant at 50 miles an hour, it's something you can't describe to people.
No.
Just doing a charging stop here in LA. Busy charging site, and we've also got this Model S PLAID. So I'll make a little video of that. It's so violent, you can't describe exactly what it's like. I'm going to plug that in. I'll try and catch a glimpse of how that is charging as well. That's a 34% battery. This is charging at 213 kilowatts. Not bad, 876 miles per hour. It doesn't show you speed on here. It shows you in this display now, so I hope you can see that. 40%, it's just coming off a little bit. It's over 200 kilowatts, but it's come down from about 218, which was consistent, down to 204, 205. We're now down to 194, 195 kilowatts. And it's been gradually declining slightly, still putting 162 kilowatts, 48%. At 58%, it's fallen to 130 kilowatts. 64%, and it's down to 110 kilowatts. So doing okay, but it's no Taycan. 69%, and it's just dropped below 100 kilowatt charging speed now, 99 kilowatts. 80% battery, 70 kilowatts. So it's taken about 20 minutes. You say 20 minutes? 26 minutes, 17% to 80%.
So you're not here to
It's slower than Taycan, but the range would be way more. Thank you for your time with this. Thanks for the information and insight into it. I really appreciate it. So, your verdict, thumbs up? A worthwhile change. So not just the same looking car that goes faster, quite a lot of changes.
This is the ultimate driving machine.
So that's about it for my time with the Model S PLAID. And what do I think of it? Well, it's interesting how many changes there are. The cabin's much nicer to be in. It's brutally fast. I mean, like silly fast. I think the reality, just a normal long range is fine. The PLAID it's sort of violently dangerous. It's lethal. You could have a massive accident in one of these. It's a phenomenal car. I mean, the achievement of it, the bragging rights of it is out of this world. It's hard to describe what it feels like. I mean, you can't describe what it feels like for that kind of acceleration. It's ridiculous. It makes you feel sick. So thanks to these guys for letting me go in the car, showing me all around it and giving us some shares of their experience with it. It's been really vital. I've enjoyed my time with it. It's been interesting. So yeah, it's impressive, very impressive, violently impressive. I feel like I've been beaten up. Thanks for watching. I hope that's been interesting, and we'll see you in another video, but I've almost time to say goodbye to the PLAID in LA. Hey everyone, thanks for watching our videos. If you like our content and want to see more, don't forget to not only subscribe but also hit the bell icon for notifications so you don't miss any new videos as they're uploaded. Plus, we're also on Instagram, just look up R Simons or RSEV. We're on Facebook and Twitter, so lots of news, stories and things as we go on each one of those channels.